Okay, welcome in everybody. How are we diddly doing today? Hope you are all well. So today we've got another. Well, no, sorry, not another. We have got the first race of the season in HRA. We are at Australia in Division 2, and hopefully we're going to get a good race today. We've got a lot of new faces and a lot of old returning faces. Some of them looking pretty aged. Looking at you, the Hammer. There we go. There's a slight on Hammer done. That's one off the bucket list for this season. Hope all of you are doing very well today. Let's, as we see Edvir coming out for the first lap of this season. Season 9 of HRA now, if you believe it. Many laps have been done. Also, apologies that the stream started a little bit late. I was eating my dinner, so I'm sure you guys will excuse me. But now we get to see what we're really here for, which is the racing. A lot of drivers now coming out for the first laps. Some of these drivers are going to be very nervous. First league race in this league for quite a few people. It's going to be very, very interesting to see some of these people's pace. Well, we've got quite a few new people actually. We've got Washed Zinc, also known as Stephen D in the Discord. We have got new to this, nope, I was about to say new to this division, but Matty Clemo is just reserving, so, but new to this division, Jackie Gabbana. Also, we have Yugs, who is new but reserving, one division up, as per the new rules. Now, let's see what Edvir can do on this first lap here. Repping the car number 54 on the Williams. Let's see if Edvir can put in a nice banker time. Hopefully something that his team principal, who I'm sure is watching, Iron Lan, would be proud of. Purple first sector, as would be expected. 27 flat for the Williams driver. Now coming along this completely flat out section. Sector 2, very, very quick. Almost completely flat out, I believe. Yeah, almost completely flat out. Now coming into Sector 3, we've got the little left and right. Very, very difficult corners, and they make or break a lap. Now coming down to turn whatever it's called. See, Edvir using all of the track there, using a bit of curve. That's what you want to do around here. Tiny little lift through there, into the penultimate corner, and then coming through the final. So easy to spin on this one. Edvir doesn't get caught out though. And going towards the finish line, what does Edvir set? It's an 18 flat to start off the bidding. That was a big lap there, I'd say. Very nice lap by the Williams driver. You should be proud of that. Now, next across the line was Swister in P2. 19.2 as a banker. Now, next is Yugs, who sets a 20. So we've got 18, 19, 20, and Andreas slides in between P2 and 4. Piastri jumping up to an 18.6 on the first run. But I'm wondering, what's coming over Edvir here? Like, Edvir must have really been practicing during the off-season to pull out a lap time like that. That's very impressive. Now, next across the line is Toto Hammer. Previous winner. No, sorry. Winner in previous seasons. And I believe a driver's champion as well. Coming in 5th place there with an 18.7, as we see everyone starting to get their banker lap times down. Who is going to be next across the line? Div 1 time. Yeah, Edvir definitely putting in a good Div 1 pace lap time. Not wrong there. Didn't expect that from the Williams driver. Yep, I can do that for you, Howard. Can I? No, I can't see you online. Let me try that again. Please. Unfortunately, mate, I can't see you online. I also can't see you offline, which is quite strange. Or am I just scrolling right past you? There we go. Got ya. Okay. So, Levi Hughes going up into P2. Levi, a very capable and quick driver as well. Matching A51. He's come up from Div 3. Was the champion last season. If they're spelled correct, is awful. For real. It's just every. It's great. It's absolutely amazing. Now, we've got Death Mage coming across the line. Death Mage jumps up into P10. 19.9 to start off the bidding for to finish the bidding for both of the Red Bulls. I believe Milanist now about to set their first lap. And Swister has retired. Swister's actually DNF'd there, I believe. Very unfortunate as Milanist actually jumps ahead of the AlphaTauri driver. Swister, if you're in stream, what happened there, bud? Did you just catch the curb the wrong way, or did you lose the car in the gravel? What happened? Now, have we got anyone that is on a lap at the moment? Don't believe Death Mage is. Nope. Yugs. Yugs could be. You know what? We'll sit on board with Yugs. The Aston Martin Reserve. Well, the Alfa Romeo Reserve currently racing for Aston Martin. Filling in the gaps. Let's see what the driver can do. A little bit wobbly out of that corner, I think. And actually in battery saving mode, so this might not be a fast lap. Doesn't look like we've actually got anyone on a lap from what I can see. Raven, one of the admins, breaking the rules as we watch along. I'm gonna need like that Men in Black mind wipe gun to hand in this race, I think. Raven, you know they say lead by example, right? That wasn't it. But anyway, let's see what Raven can do on this lap as we ride on board with the McLaren driver. Into the first corner, braking just before the 50 board. Accelerating out of this, opening up the DRS immediately. That is pivotal to the lap. Now coming into this one, braking at the 75 mark, turning into the corner, get on the power as soon as you can. Chucking it through the first sector here. This will be flat out in the McLaren, I do believe. It is. Now coming into this, it's a slight tap on the brakes and a little lift. Straight back on the power for the flat sector 2 here. It's where your wings are going to make the biggest difference. If you've got straight line speed or not. Now, little dab on the brakes. Turn in, down 2 gears. Then up and into the DRS straight. Now, 4 more corners left. First one, Raven goes quite deep, but is that the quickest way through the corner? Let's see at the end of the lap. Really got to get the car turned in there. That's where the high wing is. Well, this is where the high wing is going to make a difference. Accelerating out of there, and Raven's lost it. Raven's put it in a wall. Oh dear. And the McLaren driver, who must have felt some pressure from me, has unfortunately just put it in a wall. And Andreas has put it in P2. So polar opposites there, as that will be Raven's session done and dusted, unfortunately. And A51 sets a lap time of an 18.5. Nice lap time there, just jumping ahead of Levi. Now, next across the line should be Skippy, I believe. Yep. Coming down the pit straight here. What does Skippy set? Nice lap time there, and 18.7. Just a couple of thousandths ahead of the Hammer. Next, we have Washed Zinc. 5 tenths up on the time. This could be P2 here. If Zinc has held it together through the final sector. Just P5, unfortunately losing a little bit of time compared to the previous lap. Andreas now on a lap. Oh, pulls into the pits. Has something gone wrong there for Andreas? I wonder. Now Kai on an out lap. And I believe it's A51 who's now on a lap. No, we just saw him set a lap. They're pulling in, yeah. There we go. Just me forgetting who's on a lap. Nothing new, nothing new. Milanis now, who is on a lap. 10th down on the time, but it's definitely some time in Milanis' lap, I'm sure. Struggles to get the car slowed down there. Not using any of the curb either. Something that I would recommend for anyone who's listening. Raven saying, fuck this game. Yeah, unfortunately, Raven, we were riding on board on the stream as well. We saw what happened. Very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. But now we have Kai in the third sector. Let's see what the Ferrari team principal can pull out of the bag here. Need to get the power down as soon as possible, but it is so slippery, as Raven has found out. Kicking up some marbles there. Kai jumps up into P8. Seems to be a very, very close battle here. What is that? 2 tenths that's between P3 and P10? Very, very close battle in Div 2. That's exactly what we want to see, to be fair. I'm surprised, judging by the pace in pre-season, I would have really expected Piastri to cook something up, as some people would say. Johnny R is giving me a very nasty stare at this moment, I'm sure. Oh! Oh, Hammer. That's not where you want to go, my friend. That's a wall. Now, we'll jump back on with Jack Gabbana, who's, I believe, just set a lap time. Is that correct? No, it's not. Jack Gabbana actually now starting a lap time. Apologies, apologies. Kai's pulling into the pits. I believe, is the Alpine on a lap? Yes, Piastri is on a lap. Invite me again, please. Of course, mate. Apologies that you just keep on getting disconnected. It's not fun. But now we have Piastri coming through the second sector here. Oh, sorry, coming through the third sector. Now it's all going to be pivotal. 1/10, as we've seen, they're so close. 1/10 could be the difference between pole, or between third place and 10th place. Now, Piastri opening up the DRS, going on the grass. Is that a new tactic? I haven't got that written down, but Piastri jumping up to P7 there. Jumping or staying the same, actually? 2 very similar lap times, but the second one was just a little bit slower. Fingers crossed, Raven. It is very, very slidey, this track, which makes it a bitch to drive. Yugs right on the back of a driver there. That looks like it was Matty Clemo. Not sure if Yugs was on a lap or not, to be honest. It's Matty Clemo, certainly sitting on the racing line, going quite slowly, but I didn't see what happened there, so I am going to stay sharp. So, everyone now about to start a lap. Edveer, our pole sitter with an 18 flat, now burning around the first sector. Let's sit on board with Edveer for this lap, actually. I do think that this will be a great view of what the Williams driver's doing. When can I jump back in the car? How, Ash? Are you not in a car? If you're not in a car, try and get in one immediately, mate. As I believe, that's Piastri out. Piastri has DNF'd. Don't know if that was on pit exit. I saw it on the last corner. But now we need to focus on Edveer and this big lap time that I think might be coming. Is he going to get into the sub 17? Ooh, not after that. Edveer locking up and making a big mistake. Letting drivers by, I believe, but they are on outlaps, so it's all safe, Edveer. Not what you want to see, though, from the pole sitter. A little bit uneasy, quite possibly. A little bit of pressure on Edveer's shoulders. But we should watch on with the other drivers. Okay, watch Zinc up on their time. This could put them up to P3. It's only a small improvement that they need. Remember, the third sector wasn't the one for them previously. Zinc, now, with the DRS on, hopefully they can set a good lap time here. And it's an 18 flat, joins Edveer in that club, and it's P2 for Zinc, gaining so much time in that last sector. Very, very impressive by the Aston driver. Now we see Yugs up 3/10 in Sector 2. Bit slow open in the DRS, but what can Yugs do across the line? No, oh, little improvement, but nothing good enough for a major improvement. Now we are going to see a couple more drivers crossing the line. Pine Teeter not managing to set a time. What's happened there for the Williams driver? Milanis now across the line. Jumps Matty Clemo. 19-1 for Milanis. There's the Haas car that's just came across the line. It's Skippy, but nothing to do there, unfortunately. Now, A51 is the next one across the line that we're going to want to watch. Deathmage with a 19.5. What can A51 do here? It's an 18 flat. Very, very close between the front three drivers in this division. Now, Tomboy across the line next. And it's an 18.2. Tomboy jumps up into P4 with an 18.2. Nice lap there from the Mercedes driver. Mercedes team principal pulling in. What happened in the third sector? Jackie Gabbana going to be the next one across. Needs an 8/10 improvement to get anywhere near the pole time. What can Jackie pull out of the bag? Unfortunately, there's nothing in that lap. Nothing left to extract. And Kai across the line just finishes that part of the race. Matty Clemo, nothing doing, unfortunately. Stuck in P13. And Yugs, who's lost a front wing somewhere, has just pulled into the pits. And there's a wheel on the inside. I wonder if that belongs to Mr. Piastri. But all in all, a very, very close qualifying session. Top three split by only 76 thousandths of a second. Wow, we will have a good race on our hands here. The top four are quicker than me, says Pickle. Wow, that is... what's the quote? That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing. But something that's not embarrassing is A51's performance there. Fresh up from Div 3. And certainly has the pace to race in this division. Very well done, A51. Bigger congratulations to Edveer. 1 lap time was all he needed to set that pole lap. First lap. Also, another congratulation, well, a big congratulations to Washed Zinc, the Aston Martin driver. I can't say that I'm not, well, sorry. I can't pretend like I'm not happy with that. Very, very nice lap there. I should come back to Div 2. I think that's fair. We'll see. We'll see, Pickle. We'll see how the performances are over over the coming races. So now we have the grid lineup: Edvir, A51, Washington, Tomboy, Andreas, Kai, Levi, Piastri, Skippy, Hammer, Jack, Milanist, Matty, Clemo, Swister, Yugs, Deathmage, Pine Teeter, Howash, and Raven. The latter three not setting a time. Nice, top three with a 10th. Hell yeah, dude. That's what we like to see. Let's just look at the incidents. Nothing, no grid penalties. That's what we like to see. And yeah, let's just look at Edvir's lap time. Lap time, singular. It's very nice from the driver there. Now we just wait for the lobby, I guess. It's gonna take a picture of this just in case the lobby crashes, because then I've got it on hand and I can do it quicker. There we go. Has anyone got the continue button, or am I glitched? It's a bit strange that I can't move from here. Damn, okay. I guess we are a bit frozen. Hold on, let me look in the Discord chat. Two people still loading. Right, okay. Am I one of them? No Tomboy and Howash. Um, yeah, lobby restart. Hold on. Sorry, stream. There we go. The lobby's just going to restart quickly. I am going to have to crash out of the game, but that is completely fine. As long as I don't have anything embarrassing underneath my gameplay window, which I'm happy I don't. I'm happy I took a picture of the standings there, just in case it crashed. Okay, we are setting up a new lobby chat. I will be a bit quiet for a second. Anyone got any predictions for the for the race? Sorry, pardon me. Any predictions for the race? Any guesses at what might happen? I'm gonna call it. I think the top three are gonna stay in the not in the exact same positions. There'll be switches and everything, but everyone will stay in the they'll finish in the position that they started in. That's probably the easiest way to say it. Edvir, I don't know if you can or if you're on the stream. But I'm all good for results. I took a picture of them. I just don't want to tab out of the stream. I'd want to get this sorted as quickly as possible. How much saying he'll charge from the back to first? I mean, we saw it last season, did we not? Or something similar, at least in Austin. Okay, there we go. Session loaded. Now I'm just going to invite a couple of people. If from there everyone else can invite everyone else, I'd appreciate that. Kai, it needs to be in. Sorry, just thinking through what I'm actually doing, so I don't invite Pickle again. Mate, Clemo needs to be in. Skippy needs to be in. Swister needs to be in. Hammer. Tomboy. Zinc. Piastri. We're getting there. We're getting there, I promise. 50. Glorious. And Milanist, and then well, I'm good to try and set up the grid. People wouldn't mind jumping in their respective cars. I just need to change the track to Australia. That to that, that to that. Then dynamic. I didn't actually look at the weather, but what we'll do is we'll keep it random. Safety car reduced, formation lap off. That one's standard. That all looks correct. Perfect. So now I just need to set up the grid. Nope. Fucking hell. I'm not cut out for this, chat. Hope that hasn't changed any of the... No, no. That's the one I'm looking for. Grid editor. Okay, P1 we need Edvir, who I do not seem to have on my friend list. Or in the game, even. Next is A51. Then comes Washed. Hold on. Where's Edvir? We need the beer in here. Does anyone have Edvir's not username? Username? Yeah. Well, does anyone have Edvir as a friend? And if so, could you please invite them? Ash, I have just sent you an invite. Why do I keep on doing that? I've invited. Thank you very much, Raven. A51, Washed. Tomboy. Honestly, I think I said it, but I didn't really process it. Very good result there from Tomboy. Then Kai, then Levi, then Piastri, then Skippy, then Hammer, then Gabbana, Milanist, Matty Clemo, Swister. Yugs, who isn't back in yet. Can someone invite Yugs, please? Or was it me that invited Yugs previously? No. Milanist, if you're in here, could you invite Yugs, please? We are missing Yugs. And I believe that's it, actually. Okay, so then Matty Clemo, Swister, Deathmage, Pint Eater, Howash, and then Raven. Okay, we've got someone else in now. Who goes there? Yugs. Okay, Yugs needs to be between Swiss and Deathmage. So P15, yep. So we're still waiting on Edvir and Hawash. That's all. Hawash, I've just invited you again, mate. Edvir. Make sure I don't have any friend requests that I've missed. Need to get Edvir as a friend, really, just so in the case that they disconnect, I can invite them back. Hawash, we're still waiting for you, mate. What's going on? Everything all right with the internet and shit like that? There we go. Edvir's in now. Now I just need to move Edvir up to the top. Dippity top. Okay, let me just confirm the standings. So, it was Edvir, A51, Washed, Tomboy, Andreas, Kai, Levi, Piastri, Skippy, Hammer, Jackie, Milanist, Matty, Swister. Just gotta switch photos. Yugs, Deathmage, Pint Eater, Hawash, and then Raven. But Hawash hasn't managed to join, unfortunately. Do we have any word on what's going on with Hawash just before we... Hawash is now restarting. We'll wait for Hawash, I think, just to make sure we've pretty much got a full grid -1. Good evening, Fig. How you diddly doing? Edvir got pole, actually. Very close between the front three drivers, though. That would be Edvir. My brain's gone foggy. Edvir. Zinc was in P3. And why is my brain not working? A51, sorry. That got P2. So good stuff there. All three of them in the 18 flats. I think they were within, I want to say 0.0076 of each other or something stupid like that. So very, very close to each other. And there we go. Hawash is in. I just need to change the lineup on the grid. Even though it's just one position, it still makes a difference. Yep, P18 for Hawash and then P19 for Raven. Confirm changes. Okay, you guys have seen me on stream. Do that, okay? So if it fucks up, don't blame me. Okay, ready up, please. And you know what time it is? Stream chat. It's predictions time. So, fucking hell, my throat is fucked today. So my predictions are that the front three, Edvir, A51, and Wash Sink, all stay in the same position. Not throughout the whole race, but they start and finish in the same position. I'm also going to guess, as I usually do, that. Actually, no, I'm going to change my prediction. Raven is going to be the first one into the pit. The first one to pit, that is. And one more prediction is that we will see a meteoric rise into the top 5 from Pine Teeter in P17. So P17 to P5 or above is my guess. No formation lap. We go at X 45. Okay, we go at 45, chat. So, my predictions. Top 3 stay the same. Pine Teeter has a meteoric rise from 17th to 5th or higher. And Raven is the first one to pit. Those are my guesses. Hope they are. Hope they come true, I guess. Big says number 1 Ed, 2 A51, 3 Piastri is your prediction. I like it. I like it. Raven says P1 Raven, P2 Pickle, P3 A51. I mean, it's certainly a prediction. Lost the first challenge for Raven. I like it. Or Pinty to podium if he can get some luck. Very true. Okay. Okay, we are go. Invite me, I'll take his P1. If only. If only. How does Hammer do it? How does Hammer have a bigger one than I do? Pause. Okay, as we are now waiting for players, I do believe that means we've got 30 seconds to go. Now, let's hope for a good race. And we are 5 red lights. And away. Oh, the Ferrari's had a jump start, and away we go. The Australian Grand Prix, round 1 of Div 2 in HRA Season 9. Edvir leads into the first corner. A51 putting up a stern defence here from Washed Zinc. Let's see what happens here as we have some chaos in the back, I do believe. Washed Zinc putting some pressure on the Red Bull driver from the very start. Tomboy still managing to keep P4, but has Kai around the outside. Andreas has dropped a couple of positions at the start there, down to P10. Now, let's see what happens as we get through the first lap. Relatively clean. Hammer a little bit far behind, but doesn't look to have any damage, so hopefully we all got a nice start there. Amazing by Ed. 100% agree with you there, as Piastri manages to glide past Pickle in the second sector. Now, Washed Zinc still right on the back of Horner here. Horner might be looking for a move on Edveer. Oh, very close, but nothing to do there. Let's see what happens. Kai jumping past Tomboy. Tomboy just dropping places, unfortunately. Kai managing to get past and compromise Tom's line. Now we see A51, the reigning champion of Div 3, on the back of Edveer here, within 3/10 already. Two seconds to the top 3 as well. This will be very big as we see Milanist dropping places. What's happened here? Possibly a mistake from Milanist, but no wing damage by the looks of it, which is what we want to see. Hawash trying to go around the outside, but nothing on the cards there. Now, this is where we're going to start to see the grid get a bit closer down these long straights. Let's see what happens here. A relatively clean first lap, I've got to say. Very nice there. Very nice racing. I do mean Skippy. Did I say Pickle? I've got you on the mind, mate. That's why. That is exactly why. But now we see Piastri looking for a move on Kai. Kai actually going out of track limits, so might have got a warning there. But Piastri being held behind for the time being. Levi putting a lot of pressure on Tom as well. Pine Teeter literally pushing Matty Clemo through the corner there. From P17 to P10 in 2 laps has the Williams. What a race by them so far. Pine Teeter might be looking for a move into the first corner. They do. Whoa, big dive. And actually, Pine Teeter might get the better exit here, compromising Matty through there as Matty goes onto the grass, trying to loosen up the back end, I guess. As unfortunately, Howatch has disconnected again. And we've got Kai round. Ferrari team principal is round. We've got a virtual safety car. Not what you want to see if you are the Ferrari driver, spinning round, but really not what you want to happen, especially in the first race when he was up in the lofty heights of P4. Now, Kai, you're going to want to take it careful, mate. You don't want to get penalties and stuff like that from these sorts of when there's a virtual safety car out. Lost me words there for a second. Our biggest winner so far, or biggest winners, are Pine Teeter and Raven, who have stormed up the field. Oh dear. And Tomboy has a drive-through penalty. And hold on. So's Edveer. Edveer's got a drive-through penalty. Our race leader has lost the... Well, it's provisionally... has got to lose the lead, I assume, with that drive-through. Very, very unfortunate for the Williams driver. Not what would have been on the cards after starting pole. And there's another mistake. Edveer's all over the place now. Could be wing damage. And this opens the door for Piastri to storm through. Now, Wash Zinc is going to want to keep close to A51. Does Wash Zinc get the DRS open here? Yes, Washed Zinc is in DRS. However, there is a second between them now. I do believe it is a double DRS zone here. So, regardless, he would have got the DRS. But, still, A51 proving that he wasn't Div 3 pace. Proving that he had the pace for Div 2. And there we go. 7 tenths between them now. But an even closer battle. I'm not sure if Edveer is going to pit this lap. Might have hot tyres after some of those mistakes. But let's see what Piastri can do. Piastri carries on as Edveer pulls into the pits to serve that drive-through. Very unfortunate. It's not what you wanted to see. Now, do we have any battles down the pit straight? Nothing so far. Everyone seems to have spread out a little bit. Everyone seems to have spread out as we have Kai down in P19. That's going to be so painful. The man who started in... what place? I believe it was 6th, but I want to confirm. 6th place. Dropping down to P19. And now we have Pine Teeter up into the top 5 already. Wow. There is some serious pace from Pine Teeter here. 12 places in 5 laps. 13 for Raven, who's just behind as well. Raven's sandbagging, obviously, at the start of this race. But we do have some big losers in this race, like Edveer, Tomboy, and Kai. All 3 of them dropping out of the top 10. Let's switch it on to tyres. Let's see what the tyre strategy is going to look like. Now, Wash Zinc holding on to A51, even with those medium tyres. Raven put assists back on, quite possibly. Now we see Wash Zinc looking at the Red Bull driver. What can Zinc do here? Taking some very nice lines as well. And will they look for a move into the next corner? They move to the inside, but A51 sweeps across. No move there, he says. Shuts the door completely. And you know what? We'll ride on board with Washed Zinc for the time being. Washed Zinc is a new driver, yes. Now we see the DRS open and Washed Zinc storms past the Red Bull. There's our first or second change for the lead. And that is not what the Red Bull team principal will want. But very nice going by Wash Zinc. Let's see what they can do here. Death Mage getting the first 3-second penalty. Now Wash Zinc managing to pull 6/10, so should be safe on this straight. Or are they? A51 with a lot of straight line speed, gaining 3/10 there. Let's remember that, 3/10 on the pit straight. What's the gain here? From 5/10. Only a 10th on that one. So 4/10 in total, as we have Andreas, who's made a mistake, possibly going off into the gravel there. On 0 lap old hards. Was that a wing change for Andreas, possibly? But what we're more focused on now is A51 lining up a move on Zinc. Zinc defending for that first position, not giving it up easily, but just jumps it back in behind the Red Bull. He's just going to need to stay in within a second gap, and they might just go at it like this all race. A51 having a little bit of a slide of the back end there as Jackie Gabbana DNFs out of the race. The Alpha driver just in the wall there, as we see. Looks like they might have caught a bad line on that curb, and unfortunately that is going to be our first safety car of the race. This plays very well for A51 here. Washed Zinc either going on to softs or hards here. Can't imagine they'll pit for another set of mediums. It's hards for Zinc. Zinc thinks that this will be the final safety car and equips a set of hards. He's done it on a compound harder than A51 before, but Skippy jumping into the lead, skipping into the lead, you could say. And now gets collected by the safety car. Skippy on those 7-lap-old hard tyres. Death Mage staying up in P4. Well, staying out on those mediums as well. Hammer behind him on the 7-lap-old hards. Piastri only losing 3 positions there from that pit stop, so pretty good going. Then we have Raven behind Pine Teeter, who's actually dropped quite a bit. I'd imagine... No, I can't actually figure out why that is. Possibly Hawash and Tomboy staying out, but Pine Teeter, who was in P5, down to P11. I'd like to know what happened there, but we're yet to see. And this does give a couple of drivers another chance at the race. Edvir, who had that dreadful and really unwanted drive-through penalty after the virtual safety car, back up with the pack. It's what the Williams driver would have been praying for after seeing that penalty pop up on their screen. Now, Kai and Andreas, the 2 Ferrari boys, running in convoy. Not 1-2, but 16 and 17. It's the new 1-2. And Swister wrapping up in P18. Now, the safety car won't be in this lap, but it will be in the next, so Swister might want to get a hurry on. Those soft tyres, though, are going to help him not only catch the field, but on the restart. As long as he keeps those warm and in a good window, they should hopefully do pretty well for Swister. Now, let's have a little look at the penalties so far. 3-second penalties for Skippy, Deathmage, and Kai. All of them suffering from track limits, I believe. Now, let's have a little look at the tyres again at the front. Skippy on 8-lap-old hards, washed zinc, and A51 will surely have the advantage. But then there's 2 cars, which are Deathmage and the Hammer, who are both on 8-lap-old hards. Those are pretty... Well, those are new tyres. So, the old tyres, sorry. God, I can't talk today. Those are old tyres. So, it's not what you'd want to see ahead of you getting past those cars, because they are just going to hold you up. Piastri now in P6 on 1-lap-old mediums. So hopefully Piastri can get through the not the lapped cars, but the cars on old tyres quickly and safely is the main thing. Tomboy just behind, 8-lap-old tyres. Tomboy just dropping off a bit from the start, really. Great qualifying, but just dropping off a bit. As the safety car is in this lap, the rest of the pack has caught up. And now we're going to watch on board from the view of Skippy riding on board. We're going to actually do it like this. We're going to watch back at the rest of the field. So now, as the drivers are weaving or brake trailing to put some heat in their tyres, this is where it's going to be made or broke for some of their races. People like Deathmage need to stay up at the front, possibly wait for the next safety car. But now Skippy, from now, should be able to go. When does Skippy make the launch? Very slowly through the penultimate corner, and I believe Skippy has gone now. And it's a very, very good restart there from the Aston. Down into the first corner. Surely they're thinking of making a move. And the Aston slides up the inside. Beautiful move there. That opens the door for Horner, though. Horner now looking for a move on the Haas car. Wants to get him out of the way as soon as possible. And so he does. A51 past Skippy. Now, Skippy, Deathmage, and Hammer all on old tyres. Piastri behind, already jostling with Hammer, wanting to get past as Andreas picks up a time penalty. It looks like Andreas and Swister might have come to blows in the first sector. Now, can Piastri make anything happen around the outside of Hammer here? He's got the newer tyres, but he doesn't have a quicker setup in the straights. unfortunately, Piastri wasn't able to pass there. This is going to be the next corner. Piastri right on the gearbox and alongside Hammer now and swings past the Mercedes. Beautiful there from Piastri. It's what he needs to do if he wants to stay in with a chance of winning this race. 1.7 to the leaders already as well. It's what the difference between those new tyres and those old tyres really is. Now, Piastri with a better run than Deathmage out of the last corner. Deathmage, I thought he was going to be hung out there for strategy, but unfortunately, Washed Zinc stayed behind as Piastri takes a little bit of a shortcut at the end of that corner. But seems like he's got away with it. As Raven actually jumps up ahead of Deathmage as well. New tyres really coming alive quickly as those old hard tyres just seem to be dying. As we see Andreas, unfortunately, retire from the race. And the other Ferrari is in a real pickle at the side of the track there. Kai getting a 3-second time penalty. But look at this, A51 on the back of Washed Zinc. Those mediums are going to be a lot better during this phase of the race. Maybe not so much in the latter phases. Zinc defends and successfully stays ahead of Horner. There was a late move there, but all's fair in love and war as Piastri tries to slide up the inside of the Haas. Will hold it alongside through that corner there and still tries to hold it. Oh, very little space being given by Skippy there. Now Piastri and Raven alongside on the same tyre that they swapped onto on the same lap. Piastri just with the better straight line speed and the better exit, I guess. And Washed Zinc picks up a 3-second time penalty. It's not what the Aston driver will want at this stage, but who knows how many penalties or how many warnings A51 has. Okay, we're going to drop back down because I do believe we have some action further down in the pack. Both Ferraris now retire. Ferrari's woes getting worse as the seasons progress, by the looks of it. Ferrari finishing last or second last in the Constructors, in the Total League Constructors last season. And not looking like it's going to get any better today. Now, Levi in P7. Nothing doing on that straight there. And apologies that I've missed it. A51 has managed to squeeze by Washed Zinc there. Now, Raven is right on the back of Piastri, I've got to say. Very impressive race so far by Raven. Someone we saw making a mistake, but or making a couple of mistakes in qualifying. But now, none of those issues. As Washed Zinc right in the slipstream of A51 here. Red Bull and Aston, and it's very close, but nothing doing into that corner. Now, Ravens managed to get past Piastri. I completely missed that. Apologies. Can only have my eyes in one area at a time. Now, let's... Oh, we see Swisto, who's gone off the road and rejoined right in the path of Yugs. Not a very safe rejoin there from Swister, I don't think, and has managed to stay ahead of Deathmage, but if there's a report for that, that could be a penalty. As we see Washed Zinc absolutely pushing Horner through the corner there. And Washed squeezing Horner. Gives him the space though. Very respectful battle so far from what we've seen. As we switch to the tyres. Now, Washed Zinc on 5-lap-old hards. A51 on 5-lap-old mediums. Really, A51 will want to put a gap between himself and Zinc here. But Zinc seems to have a good amount of pace. Pardon me, pace. So, very impressive so far by the Aston driver. Now, what does Zinc have in the tank? 6/10 at the moment, but is there any more pace in that Aston to extract and try and pull a second? A51 actually pulling closer in the second sector. Let's see what the Red Bull man can do. And just to mention, we're seeing all of those old tyre runners drop down the field drastically, as Washzink manages to keep A51 behind on that straight, but I don't think he's going to have the same luck on the next one. Let's see what A51 can do here. Nothing, actually. Stays behind. Possibly saving tyres and ERS. A51 realising that he can't pull away, so he's going to sit behind and go into saving mode. But those little rear twitches aren't going to do any good for the tyres, unfortunately. Now, Raven and Piastri. Very good race from Raven here. Still with a decent amount of ERS compared to Piastri, who's already flashing. I think Raven might actually pull from Piastri here. We see Levi Hughes back in P5. Pint Eater right on their rear end. What can Pint Eater do into this corner? Nothing, unfortunately. See a good battle here between Matty, Skippy and Tomboy. Matty Clemmer actually pulling out a very good race so far. Very good indeed. Edveer back up into P10. It's better than P19 where he was previously, but not where the Williams driver will want to be. Hopefully Edveer can just put pedal to metal and blaze past some of these other runners. And Washzink is still ahead of A51, so A51 possibly saving tyres. Raven actually catching the front two, I believe. Oh, we've got a caution in Sector 3. It's Tomboy who's gone off the road at the... I don't know the corner numbers, which isn't great, but Tomboy who's gone off the road and lost a couple of positions there. Those 14 lap old mediums, I'm sure, paying some, well, feeling very old and might have been the reason. There we go. Got my words out. Might have been the reason that that happened there. Now, A51 still staying behind Zinc. But, ooh, Raven picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's not what they'll want at this stage. Now, that is the top 5 apart from A51 with 3-second time penalties. Raven 2.9 away from the front two. It's just closing that in ever so slightly though. So, that's what we like to see. And is A51 going to go for a bit of a push here to try and get ahead of Washzink and pull a second. There's 8/10 already between the two of them. 9/10, but A51 goes deep there. Hello, Kenjo. How are you, Diddley? How are you doing, mate? Hope you're doing well. Raven could win time if they continue to fight like they are. Into the first corner, going side by side. And look at the time. Raven gains 8/10 there. 8/10 gained by Raven into that first corner. So you're completely right, Kenjo. This could be a very spicy battle for the lead, especially if Raven brings Piastri with them, and Pint Eater as well, who seems to have, well, who's managed to get past Levi. We didn't see that. Pardon me, see that on the stream, but definitely has managed to get past. And some great battles going on between these two on track. And are they going to go side by side through here? Surely not. A51 keeps the foot planted and Washzink can't do anything about it. Levi managing to get past Pint Eater again with the DRS there. Very nice. Now, A51 always seems to be a bit quicker in this part of the racetrack, but as we saw last time on the exit of the penultimate corner, went a bit deep. Has he learnt from that? Yes, he has. Now, let's see. A51 gained 3/10 down this straight previously. Washed zinc might be burning. Oh, it looks like A51 might be burning here, actually. Oi, oi, Savo, oi. Hello, Maslin. How you doing? Now, this is getting very, very close. And Pine Teeter picks up. Is that another 3-second penalty? Yes, it is. Up to 6 seconds now for Pine Teeter. Not what the Williams driver will want. But one Williams driver that is doing very well, I've got to say, is Edvir in P9. Closing up to Matty and Skippy. Obviously, after losing that pole, it's lit a fire under the driver. And A51 has actually pulled a second. A51, I'm so sorry that I missed this, has pulled a second to Washed Zinc. Washed Zinc closing up the time in the straight. But they won't get DRS on the next one. So they'll have to go all the way down to the main straight, to the pit straight, to get DRS again, if they can. Stay close, Washed. Or Zinc even. Or Steven, as your Discord name is. Stay close, Steven. Got a slow car in Sector 1, but they're back on the road now. Any DRS? No! A51 has managed to pull a second. A second on 11 lap old hards. Very, very good job there by A51. At this point, they might be praying for a safety car because those mediums are not going to feel good with 21 laps on them. And now Piastri on the back of Raven. Raven still 1.8 from the front two, but getting a lot closer. Levi and Pine Teeter swapping positions again. Just thought I'd mention. As Yugs pulls into the pits. Now, Washed Zinc actually managing to get back into DRS there, so it might have just been a momentary blip, possibly a mistake from Zinc to cause that, and back into the DRS goes the Aston. Those tyres, I'm sure, feeling a lot fresher and a lot better than A51's at this stage in the race. I'm going to have to pour myself a drink because my throat is starting to hurt a little bit. First time I've done commentary since I had a cold that affected my voice majorly. And just my throat in general. So, very important. And Swister brings out the safety car. Swister having a bit of a mistake the lap before. And then having another one. I wonder what happened to the Alpha Tauri there. But the leaders have gone past the pit lane here. Don't get me wrong, they might not lose positions from it. But, yeah, it's not what you want to see. Okay, just had to send a team radio quickly. Oh dear. Death Mage is out ahead of A51. If Death Mage pulls... Oh no, Death Mage has just pitted. Apologies, I was going to say, if Death Mage... Oh no. Edvin, not again. When will you learn? Edvir with a drive-through penalty. Another one. 2-in-1 race. It's not what you want to see as Washed Zinc pulls into the pits. And so does A51. Raven follows them in. Levi Hughes, very slow there, but pulls into the pits as well. Pine Teeter just behind. Now, I'd imagine most of our drivers are going to pull into the pits here. Piastri actually stays out. Piastri on 0 lap old softs. So Piastri might have just pit and or pit before the just as the safety car came out, has managed to stay in 4th place, actually. Apologies for that. I didn't really realise what happened there. It's all good. But pretty much everyone pitting, apart from... No, everyone pitting. Everyone pitting on soft tyres. And we are going to see, I believe, a 7-lap shootout for the win. A51 and Washed have had very similar pace, but A51 has always been a compound softer than Washed. So this will be a straight fight on the same tyres. This will be very interesting to see who's going to win this one. Raven behind, who had a lot of pace as well. So Raven definitely could mount a challenge to the front, or to the two that have been at the front. And Piastri has also been keeping up. Pine Teeter has been on a charge, and Levi has been showing great pace all race. Honestly, I'm going to call it. I think this could be a fight between the top 6 for the win here. Something that I can't say I've ever seen in Div 2 before, but I'm more than up for it. I think this is going to be an absolutely amazing shootout for the podium and the win. And let me just say that Raven's prediction of... Hold on, no. Raven's prediction was crap because it had Raven in 1st. But Pickle in P2 as well. Anyway. Who predicted a Pine Teeter podium? Fig predicted a Pine Teeter podium. Fig also saying it'd be a P1 though, so possibly the jinx there. Now we'll have another lap on the safety car as Death Mage just drives, well, tries to catch up to the back of the field. It's been a little bit of a race of attrition. 4 DNFs here, so some well, not so good happenings. But actually, thinking about it, there's only 2 that were on track, being Swister and Jackie Gabbana, with the 2 Ferraris retiring in the pits after issues of their own. This is going to be a very, very interesting shootout for the first win of the season in Div 2. Now, the real question is, who are your bets on? I'm just going to change it to penalties because I completely forgot that everyone in the top 6, apart from A51, does have a penalty, whether that's 3 seconds for from 2nd to 5th, or 6 seconds for 6th place. That might open the door for someone like Matty Clemo or Milanist, who doesn't have any penalties. But safety car is in this lap. We'll ride on board with A51 here, who will lead the safety car restart. Swister has left the session. Not what we want to see. Oh, sorry, Swister's already DNF'd. Ignore me. Now, when does A51 go? A51 jumps off the line, but Wash Zinc goes with. Does Raven follow as closely? Not as closely as Wash Zinc is to A51. Wash Zinc needs to get the pass done as soon as possible here if he wants to pull those 3 seconds. Now, Raven, Piastri, Husey, all with a couple attempts between them. But Pine Teeter looking very racy on the back of Levi, even with that 6-second penalty. Matty Clemo is going to want to hold on to these guys, but is on mediums as well. But the race that we want to watch is at the front of the grid here. This is where the big points are coming from, and this is where the big drama is coming from. Well, let's see. Does Raven manage to hold on? Yes. Piastri might be slipping a little bit here. 1 second from Raven, Washed, and A51. We've got a battle for the lead. And a battle for... and Washed going alongside A51 here. A51 just sending it very deep. A51 almost taps the back of Raven and drops into P3. Washed Zinc and Raven now battling. Raven slips one up the inside. Beautiful opportunistic move there. Fucking hell, I can't talk. And now we're going to see Raven and Washed go side by side into the first corner. Raven sends it. Wash just cuts across the front, closes the door. Very, very bold driving there as A51 is put under pressure by Piastri. Levi put under pressure by Pine Teeter. This is the sort of racing we want to see in HRA, and A51 can feel the win slipping out of his grasp here. Very, very devastating for the Red Bull driver, I'm sure, as they go side by side and A51 squeezes back through. But 1.5 seconds between him and the leaders now. And I'm sure if people like Piastri, Pine Teeter and Levi get a sniff of an overtake, he will take it. As Raven and Zinc go side by side. Zinc, I think overtaking? Yes. Zinc overtaking there at the end of that straight, and Raven just putting a lot of pressure on. This is the first time that Raven has even had a whiff of a win since Hungary back in Season 7. This has been a long time coming for Raven and might reinstill some of that passion that he had for the game, which is what we want to see. A51 has done a great job closing back up into that DRS range and putting himself back with a possibility of getting that win with the penalties ahead. Now, Raven and Zinc, they might have wanted to keep it a bit civil there and just stay 1 and 2 and just drive off into the sunset. That might have been a better idea, but A51 has caught back up again. This guy has some serious pace, especially when it comes to racing. And his racecraft, as we've seen for the other 25 laps of this, have been impeccable. Now we see Raven making a move on Zinc. It should be a simple pass under DRS, and Zinc just wants to duck back under that rear wing. Pine Teeter getting past Piastri. Very nice drive from Pine Teeter here. And now Raven up into the lead. Absolutely insane drive by the McLaren. P19 to P1. 25 laps in, 4 to go. About to be 3 to go. And this is really hotting up for the first win of the season. Now, Washed Zinc in behind Raven. Raven setting the fastest lap of the race. Just shows the pace that he's got on those soft tyres. Now, Washed Zinc still getting very close. Should only gain about 2/10 here, so I don't reckon there's going to be a chance of an overtake here, unless he sends something absolutely insane. A51 actually dropping back a little bit. Still 9/10 behind, so possibly the battling on the previous laps giving A51 a chance, but he seems to have he's staying on the lower side of the second at this point. But now we see Zinc with the DRS trying to get past Raven. These two have been racing so beautifully since the safety car came in. And another overtake for the lead. Fucking hell, if the 2024 season of Real F1 is anything like this, we're in luck. Now, Raven with a lot of pressure to put on Washed Zinc here. And, one thing that A51 doesn't want in this case is pressure. Doesn't want to give any chance of getting a 3-second time penalty, as that would throw away the win. As we see Raven go side by side, and Raven just gets a tap there, and unfortunately that is going to be the race for Raven. It's recoverable, but it's so unfortunate just to see that slight tap. Raven with what looked to be a half-committed move there. I'll have to watch it again. But just keeping the nose in and unfortunately paying the price for that. So unfortunate. And now we see Wash Zinc and A51. They're going to continue their battle. A51's fault that was. Yeah, I'd probably call it A51's fault for putting the pressure on so much. He was intimidating. Yeah, 20-second penalty for the Red Bull driver. Absolutely agree. But we are going to see the battle, I believe, come down to the last lap here. Pint Eater up into the podium. Big making a great call on the podium for Pint Eater. 5 second for Ocon. Agreed. Completely agreed. And I don't think we'll see a move here. But we are going to want to ride on ball with a Red Bull. Going wide turn 1. So that's not going to get a great exit. Turn 2. Washed Zinc is really being put under some pressure here. But A51 doesn't need to overtake. A51 just needs to stay behind. As Pint Eater says, I'm not really feeling a podium today. And takes his third 3-second penalty. Up to 9 seconds now. Which is not what you'd want. Especially when you're running in P3 on track. But unfortunately, I believe that will drop pretty far down. Possibly even out of the points. But something that hasn't dropped all race is A51 off the back of Washed Zinc. Nothing doing on that straight, but I believe A51 will overtake on the main straight, have the DRS on the second straight, and try and pull a gap between sectors 1 and 2. This is where it's make and break for the Red Bull driver. As we turn onto the final lap here. A51 not actually opening the DRS. Not sure what's happened there. Tomboy, unfortunately, DNFing out of the race. What's happened there? Oh, Tomboy in the wall and his car strewn across the track. But we need to go back to the championship battle of sorts between A51 and Washed Zinc. These two racing hard, and I've got to say, having a great race so far. A51 taking it easy. Getting a little bit of grass on his tyres, which isn't what you want, but it's fine for him, I guess. As he closes on the Aston. Nothing doing on the first DRS straight. Washed needs a great exit here, or A51 will have him. Washed, defend with your life, even if it's just for the on-track place. A51 playing it smart, not taking any risks, as Washed is going to come through the penultimate corner. And then into the final corner, Milanist unfortunately retiring as well. But this race has been, again, about two drivers, and it's Washed and A51 and Washed for P1 and P2 respectively. What a drive from these two. And if this season is anything like the first race, it's going to be one to watch, folks. Levi Hughes bringing it home in P3. Very, very nice race there from the Haas team principal. Matty Clemo in P4. Not having penalties, really seeming to help him there. XFR Piastri in P5. Fucking hell. 500ths away from Matty Clemo. Heartbreaking. And Pint Eater dropping down to P6, so it's not as bad as it could have been, but it's not what you wanted to see. Raven with such an unfortunate incident there, just losing it. And a very nice race. Congratulations to A51, and also a big congratulations to Stephen D. Great race there. Congratulations, Horner. And there we go. Those are the results, chat. I'm just going to take a picture of them just because it's easier. Milana saying Matty Jesus Christ, so something might have gone on in there, unfortunately. Unfortunately with a disqualification, so very unfortunate. And I have a feeling we might see a couple of incidents or incident reports here, but I've got to say, what a great race from everyone there. Thank you everyone that stopped by. Mr. Pickle, Kenjo, Jordan, Mr. Maz, that is. Fig, A51, Kusky. Who else did we have? Raven, Lazy, uh, Hawash, Washed. Thank you all for stopping by. Really appreciate it. And here's the return of HRA. Let's hope we have a good season ahead of us. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all on Friday, maybe. Tune into my stream. Peace.